Okay, let's get started. Now we're gonna discuss the case on page 311. So rent-seeking, lobbying, and campaign contribution by drug companies. Campaign contribution. So here, 林玉想, what is campaign contribution? Can you see page 311, page 311?
等一下哦。
Campaign, CAMPAIGN, campaign contribution. So what's that?
我不知道呢。
张志伟 campaign contribution. What's campaign contribution?
竞选的现金吗？还是什么
Contribution means you give to someone, right? So
是
just like this year, we're gonna have a big election for local governments. So you can see for a lot of projects to be funded, okay, to get money and to get going, you need to have the approval by the legislators. So in this case, a lot of companies, they want to get some deals, and so some projects to do, to work on, and so to make money out of it. So because of that, some of them will donate, right? Contribution, just like donation. You can donate to certain candidates, okay? And after they got elected, usually they of course gonna favor the donors, okay? So whatever deal they're gonna get, they're gonna favor those donors. So campaign contribution. And here, a 11.3, it is about drug companies. So 林玉祥, what's drug company?
那个卖药的公司哦。
Right. Usually we call pharmaceutical. Okay, pharmaceutical. So you look at it, you have brand name. So what is brand name? 高家燕. What's brand name? 高家燕. 高家燕, are you here? 高家燕. 洪凯轩. What's brand name?
不知道，
Excuse me?
不知道。
谢信佑. So where is 高家燕? 高家燕 not here. Okay, 谢信佑, what's brand name drug? What's brand name drug? Can you see that?
开价的吗？
No.
就是有品牌的。
Right, exactly. Okay, exactly. What's generic? You know, so for example, there is a drug is produced by company A, okay? But you know, after a while, because we know that the patent protection is only 17 years. Okay, so after 17 years, company A has to, you know, give people the formula, and so other companies can produce it. But okay, because when company A developed this drug, they have put into a lot of research and development, right? And to see what kind of effect or side effect, whatever it is there. So it could be still much better. Okay. So the brand name drug and generic drug, the difference is that, you know, but you know, let's see what's generic drug. 叶一方, what's generic drug?
不知道。
To put it simply, is general. Okay, so I'm not quite sure. There is a drug called aspirin. Okay, 王之奇, what's aspirin? Wang Ziqi, are you here? Wang Ziqi. So 高家燕, So anyway, uh, there are many drugs that has been around for a long time. So a lot of companies can produce it, but the original company, uh, the original producer probably can have a better quality, and the effect would be much better. So you can see brand name drug. Okay, brand name drug, the price will be higher. Okay, because people may believe that it has a much higher effectiveness, and so you can see brand name drug put much more money into lobbying. In contrast, generic drug companies, they just put a little. The reason is there's not much they can get out of it, out of the lobbying. So you can tell exactly what's going on. This is what we call rent seeking. Okay, rent seeking. Okay, let's move on. There are a lot of other issues like static model, static efficiency, dynamic model, dynamic efficiency. Is too complicated for us. So, let's forget about it. Okay, this is about equity impacts of monopoly. Okay, equity. So, Zheng Yilin, what's equity? EQUITY, what's equity?
权益嘛，
Uh, are you sure?
呃
What's this going on here? This the meaning here?
呃，
金正党, what's equity?
公平。
Oh, good.
哈哈，
So, whether something, I mean, when you discuss corporate finance, okay, equity means actually stock, okay, stock. But here, equity means, whether it's fair or not, okay. As I have told you, when we mention perfect competitive market, price is equal to LAC, long-term average cost, is equal to LMC, long-term marginal cost. That is the best situation because the price I pay, okay, P is equal to what's the price the producer pay, LMC. So because of it, it's fair because I pay what you pay, okay. So that is equal, okay. So equity. But here you look at it, because the way for a monopolist to determine production level. Sorry, what's going on? Okay, so here the price, okay, is equal to 20. Well, sorry, the marginal cost is equal to 20, but the price is equal to 60. So the company pays $20 to produce something, but then it charges $60. Is it fair? It's not. Okay. So because of that, of course, people will not be quite satisfied because it's not good. You pay $20, and why should I pay $60? Okay. So in terms of equity, this is not very good. So let's move on to page 313, 313. We are going to talk about monopolistic competition. Okay. A monopolistic competitive market, here you have many producers, okay, and companies can enter and exit the market based on their own choice. So one of the good things is that for a monopolistically competitive market, in the long run, the profit for the firms will be equal to zero. So they get only what they deserve, no more and no less. But because of the term monopolistic, so they can charge a price that is not quite fair to the consumers. Okay, in terms of the way they're gonna maximize their profit is still marginal revenue equals marginal cost. Okay, equals marginal revenue equals marginal cost. But in this case, because it is it comes with a competitive feature, so the price will be equal to average cost. But other than that, still it is not efficient, okay? Because the production, okay, the cost is not at the lowest point of the average cost. Only perfect competitive producer will reach that efficient point because they are price takers. So the price is equal to marginal cost, so it's a horizontal line, and so it will intersect with the average cost, and at that point price is equal to average cost, and that is the most efficient point of production. But for monopoly or monopolistic competitive market, because the demand curve is downward sloping, and they of course not price takers, so they will not be able to reach the point that is the most efficient production level, because at that point demand curve tangent to the average cost curve. At that point it is still at a level that is economy of scale, because production go up, the average cost going to go down. So because of that, the production is not efficient. Okay, let us turn to page 314, so you can see the chart here. Okay, let us look at A. This is the show run situation. Okay, show run situation. So you have a demand curve DSR, and of course from there you can get a marginal revenue curve MRSR. So you have marginal cost equal marginal revenue, and so you get a point production level QSR, and you look at the price. So in this case, the firm has a let me get this done. In this case, the firm has a profit. Okay, so because at this point that is BC, okay, so this is the average cost curve, right? So you get average cost here, and the price is here. So the price is higher than average cost. So there is a profit here. Of course, if there's a profit, people are going to join in to share the profit. And so more firms going to join in, and supplies going to go up and the price going to go down. So in the long run, you're going to have something like this. And so that's what I say. For marginal cost curve to intersect with average cost curve, this point, let me again mark it X. So the X here is the point with most efficient production. But for a monopolistically competitive firm, they will not be able to get to this point because demand curve, is downward sloping. So it will never be horizontal to reach the intersection here. And so the production is not efficient. And as you can tell here, right, if you continue to produce more, the average cost is going to go down. So it still has economies of scale. But because of the characteristic of the monopolistically competitive market, this is not the way they choose the production level. It is marginal cost and marginal revenue. So it's this point. Let me mark it M. Okay. So in this case, the production is not efficient. Okay. So there is a quite interesting application here. So it's on page 314. Okay, 314. And let me read a little bit to you. So the story is about pizza. So what kind of industry would be like monopolistic competition. So restaurant is one of it, okay, because you have so many restaurants, right? And each restaurant, of course, they serve different kind of food, okay. And the other way to look at it, as I have told you about convenience store, right? There are so many convenience store, and as a matter of fact, each convenience store, no matter is the Family Mart or 7-Eleven or OK Mart or High Life, basically they all sell the same thing, right? The same kind of drink, milk, chewing gums, bread, okay, everything. But the one thing that is different, most likely matter to you, is the location. So I oftentimes go to the convenience store around my home, right? And if you're at school, that will be the same thing. And the other way, the other stores like gasoline station, right? Gas station, you know, even though there are so many gas stations, but the one that you most frequently visit will be the one around your home or around school or the on the way to back to your home or to school. Okay, so basically, even though they sell the same products, but there's one distinct feature that is different: location. Okay. Okay, so the store we mentioned here is pizza. Okay, so it said it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. Sorry, probably is pronounced DiGiorno. Monopolistic competition in the frozen pizza market. Sorry, 张策伟
是
do you like pizza?
喜欢
How many kinds of pizza? I mean, the shops selling pizza in Taiwan.
总共几间哦？
I mean,
还是
we
牌子？
talking about brand.
哦，一二三，
You have Pizza Hut, right?
对，
What else?
达美乐、拿坡里，
Okay. What else?
然后还有其他都比较小，
Okay. But what about supermarkets? Are there pizzas in the supermarket?
有吧？这种比较小的，有时候会做吧。
Not necessarily, sometimes, but in this case, in Taiwan, the market for frozen pizza is probably not quite big, but there are a lot of frozen pizzas in the United States and also in Costco, right? Don't say what is
有
Costco?
就好事多。
Yes. Okay. And let me read a story to you. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so in 1995, Crab is a very famous food company in US. So Crab Foods introduced a new type of frozen pizza, a rising crust. I'm not sure what's rising crust, but anyway. So with the brand name called DiGiorno. Okay. 林玉祥
有
how does DiGiorno sound to you?
听起来
DiGiorno.
听起来很意大利啊。
Right. So pizza comes from Italy, right? And so you have a very, Italian name. So to try to convince people that it could be something nice, right? Just like, we have several clothes companies, okay, selling t-shirts. There's one called Giordano. Okay, Hong Kai-xuan. How does Giordano sound to you? Some of you may pronounce it as Giordano, but I prefer to pronounce it Giordano. Hong Kai-xuan,
啊，
how does Giordano sound to you?
我不怎么吃那些，
Excuse me?
我不怎么吃那些。
No. Giordano is a t-shirt company. It is selling clothes.
哦，
Giordano. It should be familiar to you. There's one called Henten, right? Henten. 洪凯娟, you know Henten?
N10，N10什么东西啊？
Okay, anyway, 谢金佑 Giordano. Do you know Giordano?
佐丹奴
Right. How does it sound to you?
也是比较偏
Italy, right? Or European. But as a matter of fact, this company, the headquarters is in Hong Kong. Okay? So, name is a very important issue. Okay? Let me continue to read this to you. So maybe, because of a different kind of crust, the rising crust. So, 叶一方, what's crust? C-R-U-S-T, what's crust? For pizza, what's crust?
脆皮，
Two words, not necessarily crispy. Okay? So anyway, this is a kind of new pizza. DiGiorno. Anyway, so this is a foreign pizza. And when it was introduced, people like it. And so, hold on, let me read it. So the frozen pizza, it said, the frozen pizza market had experienced little growth in recent years. So, people like to have, you make on the spot, right? In Taiwan, what do we say? 叶一方. For example, we like a lot of food, okay, a lot of, dishes. What do we want? Two words. Do it on the spot. Make it on the spot. Two words.
I don't know.
No. I say, Taiwanese like food to be made in front of you, right? So what do we call it? Two words. Make it on the spot. 王秀慧 Make it on the spot.
可以再讲一次吗？
Taiwanese like food to be made in front of you, right?
Food Panda 吗？
No. Oftentimes, restaurants want to emphasize the food is fresh. So it's called made on the spot. In Mandarin, two words. What's that? Oh, exactly. Can you say that? 谢金友, can you say that?
现做
Exactly. Okay. But this kind of frozen pizza, people would say, well, there's no taste, and how are you gonna cook it? You use microwave, right? You should use oven to bake it, right? So let me continue to read it. The introduction of the DiGiorno dramatically changed that trend. Okay, so in the past, there is not a big market for frozen pizza, but after DiGiorno, it dramatically changed the trend. So in its first year, sales of DiGiorno were $382 million. So it's really high, right? In 1995. So $382 million. How much is that? 叶一方 $382 million. How much is that in Mandarin? 382 million. 382 million. So how much is that?
382
Million.
one
So how much is that?
等一下哦，3820亿。
Are you sure?
I don't know.
382 million. We are talking about million. 382 million. 金盛党 382 million. How much is that?
CA2 382
Million.
米点是什么中间呢？
Million.
啊，最小
MILLION.
哦
Million.
AILION 哦，一个单位啊。
Yes.
好，100万呢，哈哈
Right.
哈哈，
So how much is that? 金盛党
382百万，3亿多。
Okay. So that's a lot. But probably Taiwan is not quite into pizza. So anyway, let me continue to read it for you. DiGiorno was an entirely different product from the traditional cardboard testing frozen pizza of the past. So of course they got something special for it, and also it is different from a product that Crab has produced before. The brand name is called Tombstone. Tombstone. Okay, Tombstone. Tombstone. 李玉祥, what is that? Tombstone.
呃
Tombstone. What's that?
我不知道哎。
Check it. You should have a handset, right? Tombstone.
我 Google 一下，
Okay.
墓碑哦。
So it's kind of interesting, right? It's a pizza. Why it is called Tombstone? I never get it. Suppose you have a, say, 包子 or dumpling called Tombstone. Would you take it? Of course not, right? Anyway, so prior to the introduction of DiGiorno, frozen pizza sold for between $2 and $3 and never marketed as a close substitute for takeout and delivery pizza, right? If it is takeout or it is delivery, what happened? The pizza is hot, okay, and tastes good. A frozen pizza, gosh, forget about it. It's not something you're gonna say something nice about it. So it's frozen pizza. So it used to be very low price, $2, $3, right? And so Crab, however, decided to market DiGiorno as a close substitute for takeout and delivery pizza. Okay, so maybe because of the special crust. And so interesting. It used to be $2, $3 a piece, right? And now DiGiorno pizza, it is $5 to $6 a piece. So what you get? And of course, it is still cheaper than the takeout, like Pizza Hut or Domino. But anyway, is twice or maybe about twice as much as what you used to have. Is $3. Sorry, $2, $3 a piece. So the result was an economic phenomenon. So sales skyrocketed, and DiGiorno became known for its humorous advertisement claiming it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. So probably American people really like pizza, and somehow you have this big company produce a frozen pizza, to claim it is the same as takeout, the same as Pizza Hut, the same as the one that you get from the store. So of course, this will be a big attraction. And as you can tell, the price is almost one half of what you get in the store. So what happened? Is a big market, and they make big profits out of it. Okay. And you know that making pizza is not very difficult. You get a crust, you get the toppings, then with the oven, you can easily get a pizza. So after the big success of DiGiorno, a lot of other companies do the same. So because this is a monopolistic competitive market, Okay, everyone can make pizza, and if you find out someone can get a pizza that is quite tasty and also profitable, what other people would do? They would do the same. So because of that, you can see the market is booming. And so with so many people producing so many frozen pizza, what you're gonna get? You get a lot of supply, right? And of course, price is gonna go down. Okay. So a very interesting story. Okay. That is the same thing in Taiwan, right? When 7-Eleven just got out of the market and people like it. And then you have Family Mart, and then you have High Life, and then you have OK. So you have we call four big convenience stores. So that's basically the same thing. Okay, I believe I have told you the homework for chapter 11. But if we do not have a blackboard, it's very hard for me to show, to explain, to show you how to do the homework to you. But anyway, let us see what's going to happen next week. There's a rumor that we're going to continue to have class online until the end of the semester. It's going to be really bad. Okay. Okay, please check page 322. Okay, 322. Because we don't have a blackboard now, I want to show you how to derive marginal revenue. So page 322 is the elaboration of algebra with calculus, how you derive marginal revenue equal to price times 1 minus absolute value of price elasticity of demand, 1 over price elasticity of demand. Okay, let's turn to chapter 12. Chapter 12, wait for a second. Okay, chapter 12, additional monopoly topics. So pricing strategy and public policy. So because a monopolist charges a higher price and produces a low quantity, so there are all sorts of measures that the government set up want to regulate the producer, okay, the monopolist. Okay, the first part, price discrimination. So first, let me read the objective of this chapter. So you're going to know how firms with market power use price discrimination to increase profits, how to identify the 3 different types of price discrimination. So you have first degree, second degree, and third degree price discrimination. And here, also there's in the homework, okay, how you going to use 2-part tariffs to increase the profit of the monopolist. And the third part is how the United States use antitrust policy to regulate the producer. But there are a lot of laws and regulations, but because it is unique in the US and not quite what's going on in Taiwan, so we may skip that part. Okay. So price discrimination, it means charge the same thing with different price. Okay. Price discrimination, charge different price for the same thing. So in this case, you need to have a way to segregate the market. To segregate the market, of course, is not quite easy to understand, but what's a segregated market? It means if you sell this product to person A, there is no way for him to sell to others. So there's no way to, get his product somewhere else and sell it to others. Because if you can, let us say someone can buy the product at a lower price and sell it to others for a higher price, then the price discrimination will not be able to succeed. Okay. And so again, we talk about the price discrimination first degree. So what's this? The practice of charging each consumer the maximum price they are willing to pay to produce goods, okay, to purchase goods. So what does this mean? This means that the monopolist knows exactly what price the consumer will pay. So it means when we say demand curve, actually is the average revenue curve for the monopolist. And now, because the producer, okay, the monopolist knows exactly what consumers would like to pay. That means the demand curve now becomes the marginal revenue curve. So because of this, we say monopolies sometimes may not be, efficient in terms of production, but if the producer, okay, the monopolist knows exactly what consumer would like to pay. In this case, the monopolist may reach production efficiency because the average revenue curve, the demand curve, originally we call that is average revenue curve, now becomes marginal revenue. And another term for this first degree price discrimination is called perfect discrimination. So sometimes if we compare monopolist with a perfect competitive firm, we're going to say, the perfect competitive firm is a price taker. Okay, so they're going to be very efficient, and also, the consumer surplus going to be the best. And at this point, if we have perfect discrimination, under this case, under perfect discrimination, the consumer surplus will all become part of the profits for the monopolist. So in terms of fairness, okay, we talk about equality. It is even worse for consumer because consumer doesn't get anything, no consumer surplus at all. And so it will be perfect for the monopolist because it will turn all the social welfare into the pocket of the monopolist. And so here we call another term called reservation price. The highest price a consumer is willing to pay for an additional unit of good. So that represents the marginal utility of the consumer. Okay, when we get to it, we will talk about second degree price discrimination and third degree price discrimination. Second degree, actually, it means the whole production, okay, the whole quantity divided into several batches, okay. In batches means bundles, so several groups. So let us say, as I have told you, Thai Plastic is the biggest producer of plastic products in Taiwan. And of course, he can price discriminate against the other producers. And so there is a lot of companies, they need the materials produced by Thai Plastic for further processing. And in this case, Thai Plastic can give bigger price discount to big buyers and smaller discount to smaller buyer. So that is one of the way to look at. And for third degree price discrimination, it is selling products in different markets. And these different markets have different price elasticity of demand. And so for the market with higher price elasticity of demand, you're going to charge it a lower price. And the market with lower price elasticity of demand, you're going to charge it a higher price. Okay, so remember, let me repeat this again. Higher elasticity of demand, lower price. And higher price for lower elasticity of demand. Because in a market with higher price elasticity of demand, then because consumers are sensitive to price. So if the monopolies charge a high price, they're going to go elsewhere. And so because of that, in a market with higher price elasticity of demand, the price is going to be lower. And with lower price elasticity of demand, the price going to be higher. And so let me give you one example of the third degree price discrimination. So for Taiwan and Japan and South Korea, the producers oftentimes charge a higher price in domestic market and lower price overseas, because oftentimes the overseas market, they have to face a higher competition, so the price elasticity of demand is higher, so therefore they have to charge a lower price, say in the United States. And in contrast, in Taiwan, there's little competition, so they can charge a higher price. So what happened? If you are consumers, what you're going to do? Of course, one way is to arbitrage. Arbitrage is to buy something at a lower price and sell it at another place with higher price. But in this case, there's much you can do, because if you want to get you want to get a better price, a lower price, you have to go to the United States and you have to pay the air ticket, which is gonna be something like 60,000 NT, right? So is it worth it? It is not. So there's no possibility for arbitrage. Okay. So what is arbitrage? 陈希才 ARBATRAGE arbitrage. So what is arbitrage?
不知道。
Check your handset. Check Google. What's arbitrage? ARBITRAGE arbitrage.
不是。再念一次。
Arbitrage. ARBITRAGE.
套利啊。
Right. So can you get a place to buy low, sell high? No, not for a foreign market and a domestic market. So for South Koreans, Taiwanese, and Japanese, we really suffer a lot, because in our market, the price, the elasticity is lower. So those firms charge a higher price. Okay, so it's not fair, it's not good, right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so here is the example of first degree price discrimination for each unit. Okay, so the producer, the monopolist, knows that the first person would like to pay $9, the second person pay $8, the third one, etc., right? And so in this case, the monopolist can charge exactly what consumer would like to pay. So what you get? You get, this demand curve now becomes marginal revenue curve. So in terms of efficiency, okay, in terms of efficiency, it is the same as perfect competition. So the solution here, the equilibrium here, is marginal cost curve intersect with demand curve. Okay, marginal cost curve intersect with demand curve. But the difference is that all the consumer surplus now becomes part of the profit for the monopolist. So in this case, the consumers lost all their consumer surplus, and it is not fair. Okay, let's move on. This is about second degree of price discrimination. But time is almost up. So let us stop here. And next week, we're going to continue on second degree of price discrimination and third degree of price discrimination, and also game theory. Hopefully, we're going to meet in class rather than online. Okay, thank you.